Hi, welcome to Getting Started with Minecraft EDU. And this is presented by me, Brandy Bixler. I'm a K-8 technology teacher in Aurora, Colorado. And I'm also an NEA online facilitator for the Digital Tools and Learning Group on the Ed Communities. So I thought we'd start out today, just what is Minecraft? Minecraft is a giant collaborative sandbox, and it's a place, it's a world where kids can build, mine, fight for survival. The creativity that kids exhibit when they're in this world is amazing. The problem-solving skills that they can come up with for problems with survival and the collaboration they do, it's all just things I haven't seen in my classroom until I introduced Minecraft to them. This is what you do in the world. You mine, you craft, you build, you farm, you explore, you collaborate, and you can fight off mobs. As a teacher, you have the control of turning on and off mobs, and the mobs are just the monsters. So the reason you should use it in your classroom is kids love it. It provides lots of opportunities for collaboration and problem solving. It provides students opportunities for creativity, and there's like lots of ways you can use this to make real world connections with kids. And I'll show you some example lessons that, in the second part of this webinar. So the first thing you need to know to get started is you're going to need to know, how do you get it? Where do you go to buy it? Where do you purchase it? You would go to the minecraft.edu website. You'd go to purchase, and you'll need to buy both the server software and the user software. And it's really easy. You just type in your information, and then you have to wait for an email confirming that you're an educator. So that usually takes a couple days. So once you order the software, you'll just wait a couple days, and then they'll send you a confirmation email saying you can now purchase it, and that's when you'll get charged. And then you'll follow the instructions on the help sheet that I provided for you, or you can look on the website. The website also has really good directions. So here's a quick help sheet that I've shared with everybody on how to install Minecraft. If you prefer to look at it on a PDF, you can just print this out. It's a Google Doc. I'll upload this to my Ed Communities group too, so it'll be there whenever you need it. You can also go to the website, and their website is really good, and it just keeps getting better and better. That's not the website, sorry. Here's the website right there. So as I was saying, their website just keeps getting better and better, and more support. And the thing that's great about this is they have a wiki and a blog where teachers share things, and they share tips, and it's just a very supportive community. So this is how you install it. They have actually a video. So when they say the server is the teacher tool, and the client is what the students will use and you will use to sign in and interact with your students on the world. So as the teacher, you need to put the server on a computer and turn that on. And then I recommend going to another computer and logging on as a teacher, so you can fly around and keep an eye on what the kids are doing. So there's directions for both. Down here, this is just for installing the client, which is the software that the students would use. So this is how the students would do it. All right, so running a server sounds kind of scary and techy, but it's really not scary and techy at all. Basically, you just open it up, and it looks like this. And I'm just going to walk you through some of the pieces of the server right now. I have it somewhere. So you're going to have, one of the things that you have choices for are the game modes. So you can choose either creative game mode, which Creative is where students can build and fly, and they can get anything they need in their inventory. So all the building blocks, all the animals, all the furniture, all the metals and gems and elements are all available to them whenever they want on the creative. If you choose game mode, they have to actually go out and find everything they need to survive. And if you choose survival, they can actually die, and there's hunger, and the hunger, they have to be able to feed themselves to survive. So they have to go out and forage for food and consume it in order to keep going. They also can't fall off of high places, and they if they don't get enough food, then they run out of energy also. So if survival's on, you'll see little drumsticks, chicken drumsticks, and hearts on the bottom of the screen, and that tells them how much they have left before they need to refuel. Most games, if you go to the Minecraft World Library where teachers have uploaded their games, most of them are either in game mode or creative mode. Some of them are on survival, depending on what the teaching point is. And once you get into the game modes, you can also choose peaceful, easy, or hard. And you can look, it's right here where the difficulty is. And peaceful means no monsters at all. Easy, if you have on survival or game mode, you can turn on monsters, but there'll be not very as many of them. Food will be easier to find. And hard, there'll be lots and lots of monsters, and harder to survive, less rain, less water, less food available. So those are the difficulty modes. So there's, you know, good combination of controls you can have there. You also can see on the server, this is what the screen looks like. And when you look at the server, you see the server information, and that's the tab I'm on now. I'm going to try to switch my screen sharing over to the actual server software so you can see what it looks like. So hang with me for a minute. I want to do my screen sharing. Hi. Entire my entire screen shared. And I'm just going to type in Minecraft launcher. So you'll see the icon usually on your desktop. I don't have it on my desktop right now. It takes a while to load up sometimes. Here it is. All right, so it'll look like this when you open it. And you're going to start out by opening a server. And then I'm going to actually go to create new world. And you can just generate a random world, and you have these choices. It can be completely flat. I kind of like having the trees and stuff. You can have it create animals. You can have it make structures. I'm going to leave the structures off and start the server with the new world. And sometimes it takes a while to load. All right, so now the server's on. So I have the server information. I have the world information tab. Let me try that again. All right, the world information tab, which just tells you a bunch of technical stuff. The player settings, this is where you can take everybody back to the beginning of the game. Spawn is where they started the game. You can freeze your students. You can mute your students and keep them from texting and chatting. You can allow students to, if they die, just to respawn automatically. You can allow students surfacing, and I turn this on a lot of times because they tend to dig holes and mine really, really deep, and then they get lost or they get stuck and they can't get out, and then I have to go and find them and teleport them back up to the surface. So if I click that button, they can dig till their heart's content, and then when they need to come up, they can do it on their own without my help. PvP is player versus player, and I don't turn that on because that means that they can fight each other, and I don't want to do that in any of my lessons. And of course, you want students to be able to build, and keeping inventory means that when they die, they get to keep their stuff. And this is one you might want to use for certain things, but I don't usually use it because most of my worlds are simulations in the real world and you can't fly. So if they're just doing a creative project where they're building, a model of a monument or something, you can let them fly because it does make building and getting around a lot easier. But if you want them to, simulate what it's like to survive, during the Pilgrim times or on like my lessons about colonizing a planet, then I don't turn that on. You can give students items. You can also send them assignments if you want to. Here's some assignments that are up for the tutorial world. And alias protections means that other kids can't log on with their name. The settings, I never mess with those at all. So basically, the only thing I really do anything with in this, when the server's on, is on this one, the world settings. This also is the time, so you can lock it to be always day, or you can turn on day and night. You can also turn on weather effects, allowing fire and TNT. I usually don't turn that on to start with, but as they get more advanced, they sometimes need to mine and use TNT to get some gems or something out of the earth. So as they progress in the game and showing good responsibility, I'll turn that on for them if there's a reason for it. The monsters, again, there's elements they can only get from the monsters. So sometimes I'll turn the monsters on and sometimes I don't. In my colonization project, I turn them on about halfway through and I call it an alien invasion and they have to survive. I think it's a good test of their survival skills. Animals, I usually turn on. They can have pets, they can have farms. It's very convenient, and I think it just crashed on me. I'm having a lot of problems with my computer today. Let me open it again. So that's the server. So once you get your server going, you're going to have an IP address, which is where I'm going to go back to the tutorial world. So the IP address is what students use to log on to the world, and you'll need to give that to your students. Let's see, it's very slow. So now when this loads up, I'm going to go into how to play the game. So I made a logging on help sheet for you. You can log on as a teacher. Students, some of them, if they're little, a lot of times they need to learn how to do this, but most of them already know how to do this. The big thing they need to make sure they do is log on to Minecraft EDU and not Minecraft. All right, there's the server. The server's up. So I'm going to go back to that same program that I opened before, that same icon. And I'm going to log on to the name so you can see what it looks like. So again, this is where the students usually make a mistake. They want to go to Minecraft because they're used to seeing this icon. They need to actually go to Minecraft EDU. Then they go to launch. Again, it's kind of slow. There it goes. So you can make it big right now before it opens all the way if you want to do full screen. The first thing you're going to do is type in your name, continue, and then to log on to a world as a group, you're going to do multiplayer. Students can just go into single player, but then they're just by themselves building or exploring a world alone. Multiplayer is much more fun. So you're going to go to Direct Connect. You'll put in the IP address, which was on that server window. Join server. As a teacher, you'll join and you'll put the password in. If you choose student, there won't be a password. And then you'll connect. So this is what it looks like when you log in. It looks like it's nighttime. Oh no, it's not. It just took a while to load. So this is a tutorial world that I really kind of recommend that everybody start with. And it tells you, you know, it kind of scaffolds your learning. So you enter, and it says follow the blue line. So to move, see this big sign right here? W is forward, S is backward, A is left, and D is right. And then you steer with the mouse. So you have to use both hands. And this is a great way for you as a teacher just to get in here, play around, and explore the world. This will take you through all the basics of moving, and then it'll move you into building. It doesn't cover mining or farming in this section though. So to jump, you click the space bar. So if you go up the stairs, you need to click the space bar and the W key. To fly, or if you're a teacher and you want to be able to fly, you can push the teacher menu, which is P. So once you push P, you get this teacher menu. And this is where I do most of my controlling of the students. You can do it in the server, but I usually have the server on a computer that's across the room, and then I jump on the computer and sign in as a teacher somewhere else. And I like to put myself on creative mode because that allows me to be able to fly. So once I'm in creative mode, if I double click the space bar, I can come up and I can fly around and I can see what everybody's doing in the world. So some other choices that you have are very similar to the server menu. You have the game mode, turning all these things on and off. Same options that were on the server screen. You can also look for players. All your players in the world will show up here. So you can choose a player and you can click it, and you can block them from moving or placing blocks. You can block them from sending messages to each other. And I've had to do this a couple times when I've had to intervene with students. They get very emotional sometimes when they're playing this game and just taking a timeout and stopping and talking about the conflicts that they're having. The way to get their attention is to just freeze them. You will also, if there's players playing in the world, they'll show up here, and you can also block them or from chatting or building, or just freeze them completely over in this area also. This is where you just give them things. So if they need a string, you can just type in string. You can give to all. You can choose a certain player. These are the assignments. You can add an assignment. It'll pop up on their screen. This is my favorite place. It's the home. It's where they have these teleport blocks, and you can make yourself go to any area automatically. So I can go to the obstacle course, and it will send me somewhere. Really slow. Let's try the brickyard. There's the brickyard. So this is where students would practice building and mining, and the information blocks are where you go to get directions for things. All right, let's see, what else do we have? And we also have some tools that I never use, but you can choose, you know, long distance building if you want to build a really long wall. You can clear a whole bunch of stuff. You have to be careful with these though, because they actually do something really big, really fast. So if you don't know what you're doing, you can really mess stuff up on your world. But if you don't save it, it's fine. So if you mess it up really bad, just close it and don't save it. All right, to exit out, you would push E, or I mean escape, and that exits out. And I'm just going to disconnect from the game now. I'm going to quit the game. I'm going to quit the server. And I'm going to go back into my presentation. All right, so that was just a really quick, introduction, just kind of showing you what it looks like, how to move. The website for Minecraft EDU has so many wonderful help sheets and advice, and it has a great section for teachers. So you have these resources that you can print out. These are all from the website. So controls, crafting, farming, smelting, just lots of great stuff. And chances are your students are already going to know how to do all of this stuff. So you just need to print them out for you so you can get around a little bit to begin with, and then just watch the kids and interact in the world, and they'll teach you everything you need to know. This is the resource page for teachers. And so you can just see there's like lesson ideas, there's real world examples, blogs, places to ask questions. This is where the purchase part is. There's this world library, which has all these worlds that have already been made for you, and many of them have lesson plans that go with them. So you can search worlds by grade level. So, if you want to do, let's say, math games or social studies, you just click on that, and let's say your grades 7 through 9, or age level, let's say, age level 14 through 16. You have all these worlds that have already been built for you with lesson plans often. And people add these all the time. Like every time I look, there's like 6 more games added to it. And if you make a really good world or really good game, you can upload your games too and share. So I thought I'd just start with showing you one of my lesson plans that I use with the students. And I'm editing my lesson plan right now because my kids are coming back to school next week, so I need to get on it. But I'm going to show you the student point sheet that I used last year with my students, and just kind of walk you through what I did, how I got started, and then I'll show you a couple other resources. So here's my point sheet for my students. So basically, I gave each team, I broke my class up into about 6 teams, and I gave each team this challenge sheet. And I really didn't know anything about Minecraft when I started this, so I got these ideas from people on the internet, and I kind of combined them, and I actually gave them credit on the teacher lesson plan one. This is the student handout, so I didn't put their names on here. But I decided to base it kind of on a game and make it fun and competitive. So I thought by the end of the quarter, this is a quarter class, they needed to have 2,000 survival points. And they thought they were going to get it done in a week, but they didn't. So I started out, before I even got them into Minecraft, they got into their teams. I gave them a tour of what it looked like, of what the areas looked like. They were assigned a place, and some places had a pond and some places didn't. Some places had snow and some places were desert. So they each had kind of a different biome that they had to work with. And I made them make a flag, name their community, and create a plan for their world, so they didn't just get in and start going all crazy. I just wanted them to have a conversation together about what their vision was for what their town should look like. And they didn't have to stick with their plan, but they did have to have that conversation and have it just as a starting point for them. I think it saved a lot of conflicts when they got on and got all excited. They kind of had some focus that first day. And then I used Maslow's hierarchy of needs to kind of think about, okay, let's say you are stranded on this planet There's actually a whole story that goes with it where Earth is going to be destroyed and they have to colonize this planet and get it ready for Earth. So they're the first people on this planet. So the first things they need to do is just think about their basic needs. So these are all things that they could do in Minecraft that first week just to take care of their basic needs, and it's worth different amounts of points. After that, I wanted them to start thinking about safety and security, and they had to create laws. They had to build a courthouse or a jail, school, hospital, and they could pick and choose. They didn't have to do all of these, but they do many of them. I think I'm going to add on here, because last year I put them in a world where I build the walls for them. This year, there is no walls in the world, so I think one of the first things I'm going to have them do is build walls around their town as part of the security. And then we went into community, and we had all these activities they could do for community, culture. And then somewhere in the middle of this, like week maybe 5 or 6, I had some students in another class, another technology class, come in and join the world. So we had our first wave of immigrants. And so they had to, first of all, they had to really advertise and get people to want to come to their colony. So they made flyers and they did some PR campaigns to get other students involved in wanting to come to their community and what made their community special. So after they did that, the other class, they picked which community they wanted to join. So when they logged on, I just teleported them all over to the community they picked. And it was so much fun because the students, had their laws all written up and they shared them, but they were terrible laws. They were like, don't build anywhere unless you ask me first. What was another one? You have to get all your food from my store. One team I know had a store built, but there was no sign on it that said this is a store. So the other kids came in and they were like, ooh, free stuff. And they just started taking all the stuff out of this building. So there became a real need to have some ambassadors that can go and solve some of these problems in international law. And then there was trade agreements between communities. And it was really an enriching, engaging, exciting assignment for them. They learned so much about immigration. They learned about laws. They learned about economies because they had to build an economy. They had to do a trade agreement. One team wanted to have a civil war. They were having problems. So we had to mediate that, and they wanted to have a succession where, they left their community and broke off onto their own. And it was just so much good learning. It was kind of chaotic. I put a Google Hangout window open with the other teachers, so students, when they had a problem, they could get on and kind of have a face-to-face conversation with the other students. But it was so much fun, and the kids loved it so much. I have on my website, I have some examples of what the students actually did. So here's some journal entries, and they write these things like they were really there. I finished the mining this week and focused more on buildings and farms. I got 4 challenges done, but I need to build a lot more. They had to talk about, this was their journal that they did. So they did writing every week. This was their building plan with their group names. They had to do these flyers to get them to come to their town. Barca Town was the name one of them came up with. They come to Phillipsburg. And I love it. You want to check out something awesome? We have nice shop. We have amazing chicken farm. And you're starving on the run, come by and you can get your fill at the Hunger Bar with free chickens. And, they take all this stuff so seriously. So here's their laws. Here's one: you can build anywhere, but anywhere you want. But if a leader gives you permission to build there through chat, and they told him who to chat with, you can make a house. You can rent an apartment for 3 flint a night. So, it's just a really good lesson on them. Like what they thought they were being very clear was not clear at all, to to people coming in and the newcomers. So that's my lesson plan. So there's also the World Library, which I already showed you, where you can get lots of lessons. There's one, if you're a social studies teacher, it's called The Wonderful World of Humanities. And this one is just an incredible, incredible world. Let's see if I can find it. I saw it earlier. Let's see if it comes up. Here it is. This teacher spent over 700 hours making this, and it has pretty much your entire ancient history curriculum put into this Minecraft world. And he's actually has books that they find with facts and quizzes and video links to watch things and stuff. It is just an amazing world. And then he has all of these handouts that he made and shared. He has a little trailer here if you're interested in watching it. I'll post all of these resources in my presentation, both in the Google Plus community and in the Ed communities on the NEA website. So you'll be able to have access to it. But this was one that I just am in awe at how much work he put into building this world. The fun thing is, because I'm not really crazy about building, I've had students build worlds for me, like the middle school students make worlds for the little kids to do if I have an idea for an assignment. I found colleagues who are just crazy about Minecraft. And this year I actually have a colleague that I found through the grapevine kind of contacted me and said, oh, can I build your world for your lesson? And so instead of just plopping them down on a flat world, you know, with trees and stuff, and he actually built a spaceship and a seed bank, and he has like the whole thing going for him. It's going to be so cool. But people love Minecraft. Parents love Minecraft. Kids love Minecraft. So you always can find people who know a lot and who want to help you. Another great resource for Minecraft EDU for your students, especially if you're a technology teacher, is this dyi.org. They actually have a Minecrafter badge section. So they put these challenges out and they can earn these patches. They have to order the patches. They're like $4. So as a teacher, you could order some of these patches. And then when your students have completed these challenges and uploaded them to the site, you know, you can hand out the badges. But what's great about this is if you want to do a Minecraft club in your school, this is a great way to get started, because again, you don't have, it's planned for you. There's no real prep for you. You just have to open up a server and give kids an opportunity to get in there and explore. And they can do this. And there's, when you click on it, you see that people have posted their projects down here. These are kids who just, you know, did this. And if you haven't seen DIY.org before, it's definitely a site worth checking out, not just for Minecraft, but they have, you know, patches that they can earn and challenges that they can do for all of these things. I mean, they're great for after school clubs or science classes for enrichment. You know, you could probably figure out how to tie it into your curriculum. But it's a pretty amazing website, and they have mentors who can work with you and your kids if you sign up for it and stuff. So that's a great website to check out if you have opportunities to enrich your curriculum a little bit in your world. All right, so here's the information. If you're curious about learning more, I just put some links here for some reading to do. There's, you know, a lot of these, like how Minecraft bewitched 40 million users, talks about, you know, the benefits of it. And these are great articles to share with your administrator, to share with parents, just to sell it. Although I thought I was really going to have to sell this, but my principal loves it. My evaluator came in and I actually did my observation with this lesson, and he went and told my principal that is the best lesson he's ever seen in his entire life because of all the real world connections that were being made. I've done this K through 8 with all levels, and I've had the younger kids like beg their grandma to come in because they wanted to show them their world in their class. So I've had lots of parents come in to sit with their kids during class time because the kids just want to share it. I've had parents email me and ask how they can buy it for their kids at home. I've presented to the PTA and they love it and they're excited about it. So it it's not as big of a battle as you think it might be if you want to get started on this in your school. So that's really kind of all I have. There's so much more to learn, but this was just a basics of how to get started. A great forum for this, if you have questions, would be to post them on the NEA Ed Communities group on the digital tools and learning for grades 3 through 8, or you can go through Google Plus. I'll answer any questions that people have. If you go to my website, brandybixler.com, there's a button you can email me. I love to share and to help people if they need it. So hope to hear from you, and thank you very much for attending.